Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good people. Yeah, you know what it is. Hard worker, scrappy, unfiltered, and sometimes unhinged football content. Hard to explain, but you know it when you see it. Doing it daily our way. I don't know what you're talking about right now. Redraft and Dynasty Fantasy Football, we got you covered. You know their defense is ranked like 31st in the NFL? NFL draft prospects and rookies? Now you know you in the right place for that.
Absolutely.
All right, then stop saying it. Then we're done. And prop bets with my man Jay Rich.
Count that money, man.
Now wipe the crust out of your eyes, get you a cup of coffee. It's time to wake your ass up with Raygque. You honestly are making absolutely no sense and you sound silly as hell. Let's get it. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good people. It is Monday, March 28th, 2022. Y'all decided to wake y'all asses up with your boy Raygque, and I appreciate you being here this Monday. We got to start the week off right. What's going on? Everybody in the comments, who we got in the building? Brandon, Austin, Mike, Mr. Bearcat, Travis, Brandon, Ty in the building. Our girl Joe, always here every single damn day. Appreciate you, Joe. Danny, AJ, the Foxman. I haven't seen the Foxman in here before. We got Mike Anderson always in the building. Marlon, Chris, So, Rojo, Fish. Man, appreciate y'all tapping in with your boy this morning. It's gonna be a good one. NFL all the time. This past weekend, we didn't see a lot of blockbuster shit go down. We had a couple of small signings that may have some big impact on some players that we'll tap into. We're going to look at a 4-round NFL mock draft from Chad Reuter from NFL.com. This is a very interesting one, and we are going to use this a couple of times this week for some unique and interesting exercises that we have planned for you all. But let me bring in the co-host of this bad boy, my good friend, Jay Rich. How you doing, baby?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you doing? It's been a long weekend, but at least I didn't get smacked in the face, right? That's pretty much how it's been going this weekend. But honestly, man, I'm excited. You know, the NFL, ever-changing landscape. It's been a crazy offseason so far. But I'm excited to be here, and I'm excited to get into this mock because there's just so many implications. 4 rounds, players we've been touting, sleepers, breakouts, just every which one is going to be in this mock, or most of them will be in this mock. So I'm excited to go through it today with you, and excited for all the people here this morning. It's going to be a good week. And I'm excited for it.
We got some first timers. Andrew Chang said it's his first time being able to tune in live, man. I don't know if you live far east or far west, if it's real early or mad late, but either way, we appreciate you tapping in. If you're in the building, so hit the subscribe button, thumbs up, like the content, comment on YouTube. Helps the algorithm. We actually just hit 13K today. 13K.
Yes, sir.
13K.
Woo!
If one of y'all sons of you-know-what's unsubscribe to get us below it, I'm going to be pissed off. But neither here nor there. We appreciate y'all tapping in every single day. Yeah, I was going to ask you, Jay, did you do anything interesting over the weekend? I did nothing. Kids t-ball game. Went out to lunch with the fam yesterday. But the weekends are never long enough, man. I woke up and I was like, damn, it's already Monday. You know, Mondays come quick, man. Did you do anything interesting? The one thing interesting that I did decide to do, and I know you're not a big Marvel superhero comic book fan. I am.
That's right.
So I decided to go back and I'm rewatching the Marvel universe, but in timeline order. So, you know, that all the movies came out random as hell, right? But they don't really flow in order. So I went all the way back to the first Captain America, and I'm watching them in timeline order. I'm enjoying it, like, especially that I've seen it all the way through now multiple times. But now that I'm going back and watching it in order of how it was supposed to be done, it's pretty damn cool. So that's probably like the most interesting thing that happened with me over the weekend. Did you do anything fun?
No, I was unfortunately, I was grinding the NBA model that we are building right now. That was most of it. And then I watched The Last Dance. I rewatched it last night as I was, doing more modeling and graphic stuff for the show this week. And I was thinking to myself, like, what would our Last Dance look like? And how damn long do I have to wake up with you just to get to that point? Yeah. I don't know, but hopefully it never comes, because this show is the bright spot of my weeks, and I hope it is for all of you as well, because honestly, we do our best to put on a good show, and we just have fun out here, man. So no Last Dance coming for us anytime soon.
Nah, no time soon. But Jay, there were a couple of signings. Go ahead and tell us who got signed and where they went.
So most people were going to Kansas City, it seems like, because they need players. And the two big ones that we didn't talk about last week were Marquez Valdez-Scantling and Ronald Jones. So what does this mean for Juju and what does this mean for Kelsey? Probably nothing, in my opinion. But Ronald Jones signing kind of makes the landscape for running back kind of murky. We have Clyde Edwards-Helaire. We know we have Jerick McKinnon. I don't know, man. Are they going to draft a running back now? Probably not. Do we believe the answer is on the roster? Probably not. Can the three kind of combine to be a decent, capable player? Maybe. Outside of that, I don't really know what to expect. Like again, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, fine receiver with Aaron Rodgers. He's playing with another Hall of Fame caliber quarterback. Ugh. Is he going to be any better? I don't know. We still know the Chiefs need receivers, and they will likely address it in the draft, and you will see what they choose to do in this mock draft. But outside of that, I'm not seeing a ton. I saw Greg Zuerlein went to the Jets, so your Cowboys are looking for a new kicker now, but not a ton, which is good, man. The news cycle in the NFL has been crazy. I'm just happy we had a tamed weekend. We can actually take time to digest what's going on instead of brand new breaking news breaking the internet every single week. So hopefully this week is a little bit better. We can, really grind in some tape, start getting some clarity, because with all these pro days, it seems like things are still changing in the NFL. And we thought what we knew before with the rookies, and now
you are going long on this Ronald Jones MVS signing. You don't listen, man. Let me tell you something. Wise advice for everybody out there. One of my bosses a long time ago told me, listen, when I ask you a question, just tell me the time. I don't need to know how the clock was built. Just tell me the time. Marquez Valdez-Scantling and Ronald Jones signed to the Chiefs. What does this mean for us in fantasy? It's funny because we talked about last week, I was saying that the Kansas City offense has not looked the same since they had Kareem Hunt in the backfield running the ball. Now, they went and signed a number 27 who was not Kareem Hunt, but I think he's probably better between the tackles than Clyde. Realistically, I think Ronald Jones is probably better than Clyde Edwards-Helaire between the tackles. This is just a messy backfield. It's been messy since they lost Kareem Hunt. They have not found a guy. It's not Clyde. Darrell Williams is gone. Jerick McKinnon's a free agent. They bring in Ronald Jones. He's probably a better damn running back than Clyde. Probably neither we want in fantasy, but, at cost, if Clyde is still going, I think somebody said between like round 7 and 9 and Ronald Jones much later. It's this is not good. This is not good. We'll see how it plays out. It looks like somebody got ripped by Matt Kelly. I saw somebody. Is it Mike Anderson? Mike Anderson got ripped by Matt Kelly. If you need me to talk to the Podfather, I can holler at him for you, man. It's good people. And then Nick says, I see OGQ liking Lisa Ann tweets. Me and Lisa cool, man. Yeah, Lisa Ann is cool, man. She's a really cool person, man. So got to have her acquaintance with her through the fantasy space. She's a dope individual, man. So yeah, I rock with Lisa and support everything she's doing. So that's dope. And Mike said, yeah, he did get roasted by Chad Kelly, not Chad Kelly, Matt Kelly. So that's good, man.
Kelly.
It's a rite of passage getting ripped by the Podfather, man. It's all good. He's good people. It's good love. But yeah, we got a mock to get to. Ronald Jones, CEH, we spent way too much time on that. You probably don't want either of them for fantasy purposes. It wouldn't even shock me if damn Ronald Jones beat out Clyde Edwards-Helaire as bad as he's been. But we got a mock by Chad Reuter from NFL.com, and this is this would be like best case scenario fantasy mock. If the NFL draft were to take place like the mock that we're about to see right now, this would be absolute banana land. Best case scenario for the rookies that we love. I don't care if it's single quarterback, super flex. Jay, this was a good mock you pulled. And like I said at the beginning of the show, we're going to use these landing spots to do a rookie draft based on draft capital and landing spots. And for everybody out there, I've got over the weekend, I don't know why I was getting so many tweets and questions about rankings, right? And my rankings that I put out. Let's be clear. OGQ has no rankings yet. I have film grades. 0 ranks have come out. The only ranking that I think, call it premature, but it's going to happen. Breece Hall is going to be the first running back drafted. He's probably going to be drafted the highest of all the however many running backs are going to get drafted, he's going to be RB1. So I don't have to wait for the draft. Like, I just know what the model is going to do. Breece Hall is going to be RB1, but I do not have any rankings for any positions at this point in time. They're all film grades. Once I receive the draft capital, I have a model, like a real spreadsheet that you punch numbers into, and then it spits out something else. Once I get the draft capital for all of the fantasy relevant players, me and Jordan Backus will plug those into the model. It will spit out a final film combined draft capital grade based on historical data, based on hit rate data, based on a lot of numbers. Then it will give me my score. Then I will have final rankings. So just for everybody out there, if you're watching, consuming the content, and you're wondering where I have these players ranked, they're all just film grades at this point in time. And one of the things that I want to do moving forward is I'm going to be very mindful of talking about who's RB1, wide receiver 1. I'm just talking about these players in terms of tiers. So kind of made a tweet this past weekend looking ahead to the 2023 class. My tier 1 running backs in that class right now, Bijan Robinson, Sean Tucker, and Jahmyr Gibbs. Bijan probably will be RB1 in 2023. That's probably going to happen, but don't want to speak in certainties because we don't know what can happen. But that's tier 1 in 2023. And Jay and I talked, I think in the next couple of weeks, we'll start taking a look at the 2023 class from the quarterback position, wide receiver, running back, to really start putting players with, kind of getting them on your radar as to what to expect next year, right? Everybody, I'm already starting to see. We talked about the 2023 class being the next version of 2020. We'll see. I already see some people out there kind of talking about the 2023 class and it maybe not being what it should be, yada, yada, yada. But that's what we got going on pretty soon. What is everyone laughing at in the chat? Oh, I'm assuming.
I am dying. Oh my God. Guys, do not taint AJ. He's a clean soul. He's asking about Lisa Ann. He's saying, who is Lisa Ann? And, Michael said in the chat.
She's dope peoples, man.
A classy lady.
She's
then
dope peoples,
AJ
bro.
said she's fantasy
peoples,
related.
Bro.
And
she's
Hot
dope
Rock Nation
people.
said she kind of is fantasy related.
She's good people.
And I'll leave it at that.
She's a
good
peoples,
person,
man.
Sure.
She's good peoples. I don't give a shit about none of that. She's good peoples, man. She's a really cool individual and she's doing dope things and happy for all the success she's having right now in her career. So let's get into the mock, Chad Reuter's mock, NFL.com. Let's pull it up and go through round 1. And I mean, as soon as I put it on the screen, we're off and running. Like we're off and running as soon as we get it up. Let's move me to the side just a little bit, Jay. Let's get you in the picture and let's go through the mock. So here we go. Based on this mock, we do have the Detroit Lions going quarterback with Malik Willis at 2. Malik Willis, number 2. And then we got a projected trade with the Texans. So the Atlanta Falcons and the Houston Texans make a trade, and the Falcons take their quarterback of the future, which we all know it will not be Marcus Mariota, and they go with the Pitt Panther, Kenny Pickett, at number 3 overall. So in the top 3, we have Malik Willis and then Kenny Pickett to the Atlanta Falcons. The Jets go with an athletic edge rusher right there. Then we get Evan Neal to the Giants. And would you look at this? At number 6 overall, we get Matt Corral. So within the first 6 picks, Kenny Pickett, Malik Willis, and Matt Corral all off the board. QB1, QB2, and Matt Corral coming off the board as QB3 in this mock. Let's just go a little further. I just want to get excited. Let's go a little bit further. All right, the Giants go Evan Neal, then they go Kyle Hamilton, a little too high for a safety in my opinion, but the Giants go Kyle Hamilton. Texans get Kayvon Thibodeau. They go back to the days where they took Mario Williams ahead of Vince Young and Reggie Bush, and they go back to defensive end and get, I believe, the best edge rusher in the class in Kayvon Thibodeau. Ike Ekwonu falls to Seattle at 9. What a great ad for the Seahawks. They need some offensive line help. Jordan Davis, they trade up with the Jets. Jordan Davis goes to the Eagles because they traded up with the Jets in this mock to pair with Fletcher Cox in the middle, making that NFC East team even better with Jordan Davis. And there we go. Wide receiver 1 off of the board, Drake London. Drake London to the Washington Commanders. There you go. Carson Wentz gets a running mate with Terry McLaurin. So you get Drake London. He's got success with USC wide receivers in the past for a year, Michael Pittman Jr. So he gets Drake London and Carson Wentz in Washington. And we will stop at the 112 because we get another quarterback off of the board. Not one, not two, not three, but 4 quarterbacks in the first round of this mock within the first 12 picks. And it's Desmond Ritter, who the Pittsburgh Steelers traded up with the Vikings to select Desmond Ritter at 12. So, Jay, let's just talk through this real quick. What are you thinking? And listen, everybody's saying there's no way this can happen. Pittsburgh has Mitch Trubisky. There's a way. All right. Who else? The Panthers have Sam Darnold. There's a way. The Atlanta Falcons have Marcus Mariota. There's a way. And the Detroit Lions have Jared Goff. There are ways for all of these teams to take quarterbacks. Will it happen? I don't know. But at this point in time, everybody's guess is as good as the next person. I don't think anybody knows what the hell is going to happen during the NFL draft. But I will just say there's absolutely a way for these 4 teams to take quarterbacks. Do they take them this high? Maybe you got to do it, right? Maybe in a weak draft class, they're like, F it. Like, let's just go get a quarterback and hope for the best. So, Jay, let's just talk about these quarterbacks. Drake London off of the board here at 11. What are you liking? What are you disliking for fantasy purposes? How would this, let's just say the quarterbacks, man. Desmond Ritter, Kenny Pickett, Matt Corral, Malik Willis, all go top 12. Is Ritter a top 10 pick in rookie superflex drafts?
Top 10?
Yeah, top 10.
That's probably should be. I don't know if I could quite get there, but he probably should be. When you really, like, if we're just being honest, if he's a top 12 pick, he should probably be a top 12 fantasy pick at the least for me. But the problem for me is I don't like any of these landing spots. I think there would be an argument that Matt Corral is the best. You know, we've said Carolina's good, but at the same time, we're like, Matt Rule, I don't know, man. Like, it's just something about Matt Rule. He's got some stink. And part of me would just be like, you know what? Malik Willis has always been kind of my top quarterback. I think he's the guy with the highest ceiling. I like him in Detroit. I like the coaching staff there. I think they would do the right things to develop him. But we'll see. Corral is, he'd probably be QB2 because I don't. He's
still my personal QB1. Still believe in Matt Corral. And listen, all I'm saying is, I think the best way to prepare yourself, you know, for fantasy, for dynasty rookie drafts, it's easy to just like, oh, everybody else says it's not going to happen, so you fall into that trap and believing it. But you got to prepare yourself for every situation. When you're prepared and you're ready, you don't have to get ready, right? So prepare yourself for absolute chaos. Prepare yourself for these quarterbacks going higher than we think or we thought, because we've seen it before, man. I am old enough to remember the years of Cade McCown and Achilles Smith and all these quarterbacks going higher than they probably should have, right? I've seen a world in which Rosen was a top 15 pick. E.J. Manuel, Christian Ponder, Blaine Gabbert, Jake Locker, Brock Osweiler. I've seen all this shit happen years and years and years. If you don't have a quarterback, you have nothing. And all I'll say about this mock is the 4 teams that took quarterbacks, none of them have quarterbacks. Not that you're going to build around long term. Trubisky, Mariota, Jared Goff, and Sam Darnold are not the way. So prepare yourself. Instead of saying this will never happen, what if it does? Now what do you do? And Joe says, if Corral goes top 10, I'm taking him 102. I saw somebody say if Desmond Ritter, goes number 12 to Pittsburgh, he's a top 10 rookie draft pick in Superflex leagues. Prepare that way. If the unthinkable or the unmockable happens, you're prepared and you're ready to do work. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to take Ritter in the top 10. I don't want to take him in the top 10. If he's top 12 in the NFL draft,
does he beat out Mitch Trubisky, though? I think that's the ultimate question, is do we think he can beat out Trubisky? And I really don't know if he can. That's the problem. That's the problem for me.
Oh, man. Nicholas says,
ruining Ritter time, baby.
If they got a shot to be a starting QB with round 1 draft capital, they're worth a first just for opportunity. This is the most level-headed comment and probably is the most accurate. If they get a shot to be the starting quarterback with round 1 draft capital, they're worth a first. The value is there. People are trading first. Listen, we've talked about it. We've shown examples. First-round picks for Sam Darnold knowing he's god-awful. people have done that, like 2023 first rounders. Give me Sam Darnold, I'll give you a first rounder. So, yeah, this again, best and worst case scenario for fantasy that we would have to take some of these guys. Let's continue on with the first round of this mock draft because we get another quarterback. We don't even stop at 4. We just go full, just nuclear, and Sam Howell. And again, I've been saying it. Tennessee needs to start thinking of a succession plan for Ryan Tannehill. He's not the long-term starter of the future. There goes Sam Howell off the board to the Titans at pick 14. Sam Howell comes off the board. 5 quarterbacks inside the top 15. This would be absolute chaos in rookie drafts because this would signify that at some point Sam Howell's going to get a shot to start. And who knows when that time will come. But let's go. Sam Howell at 14. Eagles get Jermaine Johnson. Sauce Gardner to the Jets. They need him to cover Tyreek Hill. Devontae Wyatt, athletic defensive tackle. The Chargers go D-line. Saints shore up the offensive line. And the Philadelphia Eagles get another wide receiver to pair with Devontae Smith and Garrett Wilson at pick 19. Devin Lloyd. And then boom. There you go. You wanted the receiver to Kansas City. You got him. Jamison Williams with a projected trade up to the New England from the Kansas City Chiefs to the Patriots. And Jamison Williams takes his talents to Kansas City. Trevor Penning, the Green Bay Packers, disappoint you all. And they go offensive tackle to help protect Aaron Rodgers with Trevor Penning, the big Northern Iowa offensive lineman. The Arizona Cardinals get O-line help with Dion Johnson, the big guard. Cowboys getting Kobe Dean. I'd be fine with that. The Buffalo Bills bypass running back that we all want, which will not happen. And they go Trent McDuffie to shore up that secondary. The Ravens with Tyler Linderbaum. Love it. The Jets do get a wide receiver later. Can you please not cough into the mic, Jay? Please mute yourself, coughing and making noise into the mic. Thank you. The Jets go Chris Olave, and the Green Bay Packers go with Treylon Burks. So there goes your wide receivers. So let's just talk real quick. You can unmute yourself now. Thank you for stop making noises into the mic. Get it together. I'm on a roll and you are not. Let's go. We got Drake.
You need to speed this up, man. We're still in round 1. Like, come on.
Right.
Let's get going. Chris Olave trades up to the first round. Okay, but question for you, because this is looking at this mock is my biggest issue. I love Garrett Wilson. I love the fit on the Eagles. Targets aren't there. I like the fit of Chris Olave on the Jets. I don't know how I feel about it. Then Treylon Burks, we talked about, we hate the fit for Treylon in Green Bay.
Yeah.
And so I think it leaves Drake London as the clear 101 if this were to happen. Not just from a draft capital perspective, but also from a potential perspective of how I view this playing out. Again, there's a lot of high draft capital, but not the best landing spots from my perspective. But Sam Howell to Tennessee, I think he's probably sitting for the first year for sure, because Tannehill's not a bad quarterback and they're trying to win.
Right.
But it's by far, to me, the best situation. They have probably the best.
Really?
I think it's by far the best. I think that while I like Desmond Ritter because of the coaching in Pittsburgh, I think that Sam Howell's potential mixed with good coaching and the players around him is probably the best case scenario for a quarterback in this draft class. Again, like you said, situations change, but when I know I have A.J. Brown, when I know I have Derrick Henry, and they'll probably be adding, they still have Robert Woods, like they could be doing more in this draft. We're going to find out. But I do like that fit. I like the coaching. I like everything involved, the culture. And so I think it'd be a great fit for Sam Howell and probably a guy I would be targeting at the back of first. So if it's between him and Ritter, I think it's a toss-up. I really do.
Okay.
Howell's been kind of falling a bit in mocks, but if he were to go to Tennessee, I think it's a great fit. I really do. I think it's a great fit.
Man, yeah, as you talked about it and thinking about A.J. Brown, Robert Woods, didn't they get, I know it's not, a big fantasy mover, but they got Austin Hooper at tight end. That'd be a good landing spot for Sam Howell, and I'm with you. He wouldn't play year one. Probably sit, maybe if Tannehill got banged up or, they started him towards the end of the season just to see what he had. Garrett Wilson in Philly, I think that'd be good for Jalen Hurts. Garrett Wilson, Jalen Hurts, Dallas Goedert, and Devontae Smith is a nice pairing. Jamison Williams to the Chiefs. We know what that would signify, that he would end up being the guy soon as he got ready.
100%.
He'd end up being the guy, not probably in 2022, but beyond. Penning to Green Bay, I love that for Aaron Rodgers. Olave to the Jets. And real quick, I think Treylon, if he goes to Green Bay, he's going to be fine, but it doesn't seem like an Aaron Rodgers type wide receiver. Like it would seem like if Olave went to Green Bay and maybe Treylon to the Jets. Maybe flip-flop those spots. Maybe a little better landing spot, but neither here nor there. I meant first-round wide receiver tethered to a Hall of Fame quarterback. That would have to be good for Treylon. He gets the offseason to work with Aaron Rodgers. Karlaftis, whatever his name is, to the Chiefs. Just glad that the Cowboys didn't take him. Andrew Booth, and then Bo Maffa. So that's round 1 of this mock. Let's go ahead and go to round 2. Let's talk about round 2 and look at some of the landing spots that we have in round 2 of this mock. So Detroit at the top of the second, George Pickens off of the board, and then Breece Hall to the Jets. So let's just right here. So look at this cluster. George Pickens and then Breece Hall as RB1 to the Jets off of the board. Rest in peace, Michael Carter. It's Breece Hall time in New York. And I think this is probably a realistic landing spot. Breece Hall coming off of the board early in the second round. You know, a lot of NFL teams aren't taking any running backs in the first round. If there's going to be a first-round running back, it will be Breece Hall. But in this mock, high day 2 draft capital, high round 2 draft capital. The second is the new first. Breece Hall to the Jets absolutely nukes your Michael Carter shares. We scroll down a little bit, and there goes your second running back off of the board, Kenneth Walker to the Houston Texans. A lot of smoke around Houston going running back. So there goes your RB1 and RB2 off of the board. Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker III to the Houston Texans. Both really good landing spots. And look at this. Greg Dulcich. Let's not overlook this. He's tight end 1 off of the board. And I think he's starting to get more and more smoke around his name as the tight end 1 off of the board. No Trey McBride. We saw what Jalen Weidemeyer did at his pro day. Greg Dulcich is off the board to Minnesota at 46. Little concerning for the Irv Smith truthers out there. The Saints go wide receiver, and they take Jahan Dotson with the top 50 pick. I actually like this fit a lot for Jahan Dotson paired with Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas, and Jameis Winston. This is actually a really good fit. We have not seen this. I really like this mock, man. We haven't seen a lot of these landing spots yet, so I'm a big fan of Jahan Dotson at pick 49 to the Saints. We go down a little bit, and boom, we get 2 wide receivers back-to-back. Pittsburgh goes with Christian Watson, and then the Packers double-tap receiver. They go back to the wide receiver realm. Sky Moore, love it. Love the fit of Sky Moore in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers. Yes, Christian Watson, the athletic freak to the Pittsburgh. You can't overlook that. But damn it, honestly, Sky Moore in Green Bay or Treylon Burks in Green Bay? Just player skill set
Sky Moore
fit.
has to be. He's a better route runner, better accelerator off the line. He'll get open faster. I think it's just, again, Rodgers wants to get the ball out quick. Treylon could be that, but he won't be that right away. And so if you're just comparing the two off the jump, you have to go that way. But then you talk about Christian Watson. What are they just drafting Chase Claypool again in the second round? Is that where we're going with Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
It's just taking another big athletic freak that they can hopefully mold to be their next X receiver.
Maybe it signifies they won't pay Deontay Johnson. Maybe they're like, we're not going to pay Deontay Johnson $30 million.
But what's interesting is that it's a different archetype, right? It's a different archetype of receiver. I think, because Chase Claypool only has 2 more years left on his contract. So maybe they're slowly making that transition. But it's interesting to see them kind of go that same mold, which is, but again,
maybe that's what it is
for sure.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe they're like, we're going to pay Deontay. We're not going to play Chase Claypool. They didn't pay Juju. Maybe that's what it signifies. But there you go, 2 wide receivers off of the board there. We scroll down a little bit more because we get the Chiefs going running back. And they go James Cook in this mock. James Cook to Kansas City. We'll talk about that in a second. We get another tight end off of the board, not named Trey McBride. Jelani Woods, the big athletic tight end out of VTech to the Cincinnati Bengals in round 2. So not a ton of fantasy relevant guys here in round 2, Jay. But we will just keep, let's talk James Cook real quick. James Cook to Kansas City. What are your thoughts, expectations? James Cook goes to Kansas City.
I think expectations are minimal just based off of kind of what we know about him and all the guys there. But it would get people hyped, right? Like he'd probably be a top 18, top 20, not even higher than that, honestly.
He'd be first round
pick. He's got the receiving chops.
People will push him up. James Cook to Kansas City in round 2. People would draft him in round 1 of rookie drafts. He'd go at the back of the first, man. We'll see. We're going to do a mock. We're going to do a mock with these landing spots. We'll see.
Yeah, and the thing is if he can actually get the receiving down role in Kansas City, it would be a very fruitful role, right? To where he could be the James White in Kansas City, and that would be an awesome spot. I don't know if he can actually do that and command that target share and that role. But it's interesting. Top 60, didn't expect it. Like you said, Zeus White, Brian Robinson, kind of expect them to go ahead of James Cook, but it's not looking that way. We may see something different.
So we did see, and let's real quick, because it was way at the beginning, but we had Kenny Walker to the Texans. We also had Brees to the Jets. But up here at the top of the second, the Lions with GP. GP, Malik Willis, Amon-Ra, DeAndre Swift, TJ Hawkinson. That's a nice receiving core, man. Like
they complement each other very well. Very well.
They all complement each other very well, man. You get Pickens to stretch the field as that X, Amon-Ra as your flanker, Z. You've got DeAndre Swift out of the backfield. You still have, they got DJ Chark for a year. We'll see if they sign him to a long-term deal. But I think this would allow Pickens to kind of grow into his role in Detroit. And I think that's a hell of a receiving core for the next, Malik Willis, George Pickens, Amon-Ra St. Brown, DeAndre Swift, TJ Hawkinson. Not bad. With that offensive line, that's good work by the Lions, man. I'm liking what they're doing. And again, Brees Hall and Kenneth Walker, the round two running backs. I plugged that into my model. Those are your RB1s and RB2s off of the board. All right, round three. Let's go round three. I got to pause this because this shit's going to start playing. There we go. Isaiah Likely off. Oh, that's round four. My bad. That's round four. That's round four, too. Hold on. Round three.
You good?
Where's round three at? Yeah, I was going to say that shit jumped from 60 to 100. Like the math wasn't right, bro. All right, John Mechie off of the board to Jacksonville. There goes Trey McBride there to the Giants. Houston Texans take Calvin Austin in this mock. David Bell. Not all hope is lost for David Bell coming off the board to Chicago at 71. Seeing his name paired to Chicago quite a bit. Third round draft capital.
Allen Robinson replacement, right?
Yeah. That exactly. Carson Strong to the Colts. Like the fit. Sit behind Matt Ryan. I'm not even showing the damn mock, Jay. I'm not even showing the goddamn mock. There we go. Carson Strong to the Colts. I like that, right? Sit behind Matty Ice for a year. What else do we have in this mock? Charlie Kohler, no thank you to the Falcons. He's big and he's slow. Don't want him. What else do we have in this mock? Let's get down to it. There it is. Kansas City. Another wide receiver. Wan'Dale Robinson, top 100 pick. They're just retooling the complete receiving core. They know MVS isn't the guy. They know they're not going to sign Juju long-term. They just need a stopgap for the year. So they go J-Mo, come back with Wan'Dale Robinson at pick 94. Bye-bye, Mecole Hardman. We got Rachaad White to the Denver Broncos to be the backup running back for Javonte Williams. If they don't bring back Melvin Gordon, it's not going to be Mike Boone. They got to find a backup running back. And I think Rachaad White actually complements Javonte Williams quite well with Russell Wilson. I like that spot. Day two draft capital for Rachaad White to Denver. He's not going to be a starting guy, and I think this is probably more representative of the draft capital that he's going to get. Everything that I'm hearing is probably a late third round, early day three kind of guy for Rachaad White. So this would actually be really good draft capital. You get Grant Calcaterra off of the board at 97, tight end, really high on him coming out of Oklahoma, transfers to SMU, but the Lions take him with the top 100 pick. And I love these two spots right here. Compensatory selections, the Saints go Zamir White. Love it in New Orleans for Zamir White. And the Cleveland Browns get a wide receiver in Jalen Tolbert to groom with Amari Cooper, Donovan Peoples-Jones at pick 99 with Deshaun Watson. There goes your third round. And then we got Khalil Shakir here at New England. They finally select a wide receiver, 103 off of the board towards the back of the third round. Jay, third round landing spots that you absolutely loved in this mock.
It's Zeus White, and I don't think it's very close. I've been talking about how I've been wanting Tyler Algier, early in the process to go to the New Orleans Saints because they are a team that runs a two-back system and they run it successfully, unlike some other teams. So I think Zeus White would be a great pick there. Alvin Kamara is still the bell cow, but he doesn't have to be the bell cow. You can have a guy come in and be a 1-2 grinder, will score a lot of touchdowns, get a lot of opportunity, and be useful for fantasy without taking away too much from Kamara in the receiving game. So I think it's a great fit. It's one of my favorite picks. And then the Wan'Dale Robinson pick, if that happens, honestly, like do not pick him. Like I don't believe it's a good fit at all. What they're trying to do is, for people who aren't familiar now, Ray, you'll remember because this player was dynamic in college. It reminds me of when they drafted D'Anthony Thomas. D'Anthony Thomas out of Oregon, super dynamic player, kind of a gadgety guy, undersized. He actually just signed to the CFL. Shout out the BC Lions for signing him today. But yeah, it's crazy. It reminds me of that pick a lot. He's a smaller guy, shifty, quick, great in college, not necessarily great in the NFL. And I don't think the outlook is what people will expect when they draft him. You know, he'll be drafted like high second just because he's in Kansas City. I think that'd be a big mistake for a lot of people.
We got our boy Cody Carpenter in the building. He said he's got Brian Robinson going at that 98 spot to New Orleans. Yeah. B-Rob or Zamir, I would love both of those fits. Jay, I don't know if you got to see me and Jesse Reeves, man. Jesse Reeves, for those of y'all who are new to the fantasy space, Jesse Reeves is an OG. Jesse Reeves is a data OG. And we were talking about B-Rob and his fit to the LA Chargers and how good of a fit that would be as a compliment to Austin Eckler. If the Saints went with B-Rob there in the third, I'd love it as well. So I think based on that, so that's day 2 draft capital. Let's just real quick, the running backs that got day two draft capital, day 1, day 2 draft capital, Brees, K9, Rachaad White, Zamir White, James Cook. Those would be the 5. Based on my model, I think you plug those in. Your RB1, no doubt, is going to be Brees, Kenneth Walker, and I do believe that Zamir White, given third-round draft capital, would bump him up. I think he'd be close to RB3. I still think Rachaad White would have him based on the film grade, but those would probably be your top 4 running backs for rookie draft purposes. Let's finish this up and look at round 4. There we go. I got it on the screen now. All right, the Jacksonville Jaguars take Isaiah Likely as the tight end. I believe this is tight end 5 off of the board. Actually tight end 6 because Jelani Woods, Grant Calcaterra in this mock as well. We got Isaiah Likely to Jacksonville, Justin Ross to Baltimore. Even though it's a 4th-round pick, I like it. It's a good spot for him to develop. I know that it's not a lot of pass volume there, but from an NFL standpoint, I like the fit in Baltimore for fantasy purposes. Probably not enough to go around with Mark Andrews, Rashad Bateman, and Hollywood Brown. So that would suck for Justin Ross from a fantasy
Ray, look at that, though. Kobe Bryant to the Jets. So you get the Cincinnati duo in New York, which I think is really interesting that they did that, yeah.
Well, the Jets have been doing some good stuff in the offseason, and they got to defend Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. So Kobe Bryant, saw him at the Senior Bowl, wasn't as impressed, but you know, the good thing about this is I think Robert Saleh got to see him there as well, so this would make a lot of sense. Got to coach him up or at least be around him at the Senior Bowl. And yeah, shoring up that secondary. There goes Jake Ferguson, tight end out of Wisconsin. He just feels like a damn Denver Broncos, so that makes sense. Look at this one. Tampa Bay with Pierre Strong in the 4th round. Running back out of South Dakota State, ran a 4.3 at the combine. Ultra productive running back, a little bit older, but Tampa Bay using their early 4th-round pick on a running back in Pierre Strong. All right, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Velus Jones, been a big riser from the Senior Bowl. Velus Jones, the Indianapolis Colts. Bailey Zappi, quarterback out of Western Kentucky, goes to Philadelphia in round 4. Baylor Zappi. Let the Hurts and Zappi. God, did you see who?
Skylar Thompson.
Skylar Thompson
to the Raiders.
Dear God, Skylar.
Kansas
let me just say this.
Legend Skylar Thompson.
Let me just say this. If Skylar Thompson gets drafted in the 4th round, stay far, far away from Skylar Thompson. I don't give a damn about value. Stay away. It's only karma. It's gonna happen. But our boy, our wide receiver that we have stamped, Antoine Pierce, to the Dallas Cowboys, the great white hope, Antoine Pierce. Let's go, baby, to the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, nothing more I want.
Fit.
It's a good fit. You get this athletic freak, Antoine, to Dallas here at pick 129 in the 4th round. Listen, I like it. I'd be happy that if the Dallas Cowboys went ahead and pulled this off. Now we're getting some fun, interesting landing spots for some running backs. So Buffalo, y'all want them to take a running back. Everybody, here's the thing. Here's the issue with the fantasy community. We all think all these NFL teams are going to fucking draft running backs in round 1. This mock is shit. No running backs in round 1. they're probably going to go off the board round 4, round 5. So Jerome Ford to Buffalo here at pick 130, followed up by what I love it, Brian Robinson. I'd like to see him get day 2 draft capital, but Tennessee takes Brian Robinson at 131. Ford, Robinson off of the board in the mid-4th round. And then we also have, let's scroll down a little bit, another running back, Tyler Goodson off the board to Baltimore. Okay. I'm not a fan of Tyler Goodson, but there goes your 4th round. We got about 4 running backs off of the board. We got the great White Hope and Antoine Pierce off the board to Dallas. And we had a couple of QBs hit off of the board in round 4. Favorite pick in round 4, Jay, for fantasy purposes?
I think it would have to be Jerome Ford, just because of what he could potentially be in Buffalo. Like, again, do we want to go after Velus Jones? I really like that John Mechie pick. You skipped over John Mechie in the 3rd, but I really like the fit, right, in Jacksonville. I think he could be a guy that Trevor Lawrence really relies on. You know, John Mechie doesn't really project as a X receiver in the NFL, but we know that Trevor Lawrence had a lot of his success throwing to slot receivers. John Mechie, a super productive slot receiver at Alabama. So I really like the fit. You know, he is coming off an ACL injury as well, just like Jameson Williams. Not as high of a prospect, but again, I think it's a great fit with Trevor Lawrence in that offense. But we'll see. In the 4th round, I didn't see a ton that I liked. I don't know if anything that you liked. You know, the Alec Pierce fit was fun, and it was a good fit. I think he replaced Cedric Wilson really nicely. Yeah. I think Jerome Ford would be a good fit in Buffalo. I think he can do a lot of things that they need on offense because he's got the speed and he's big. They got a slow Devin Singletary and they got a slow Zach Moss. And while, you know, I like Devin Singletary, he's super productive in college. I think Jerome Ford's a better running back. I think he could do more in that offense. So I think even as a 4th rounder, he's got a shot to beat out those guys just from a talent perspective. Outside of that, though, it's the 4th round. You know, everyone gets excited about all these prospects and you hope, but did we see Isaiah Spiller go off the board?
We did not. No? You did not. Your eyes did not deceive you. Some players that I was waiting for, we did not. We did not see one Spiller off of the board. And if he doesn't get drafted on day 2, with no Isaiah Spiller, no Kyron Williams, who are some of these other players we keep talking? No Dameon Pierce. I didn't see any of those guys come off the board at the running back position. Not one of them. 0. We saw Pierre Strong. We saw, God forbid, Tyler Goodson get drafted ahead of him. I'm not a fan. Tyler Goodson, just don't like it. The film grade was low. If these guys don't go, they're just dart throws at that point. They're not a top 24 pick in rookie drafts. Go to round 3, round 4, wait for them to go there. And everybody in the chat says if the Cowboys do take Alec Pierce, then I must get a jersey. I will 100%. Cowboys get Antoine Pierce, I'm getting a jersey. I'm wearing it for a week straight. Reverse, like old school, early 2000s, where the name is on the front of the chest.
Name on the front.
Name on the front. I'm wearing that shit every day. But I enjoyed this one. I like seeing stuff that is not cookie cutter, just giving us the recycled Mel Kiper mock. Like that, let's prepare for it. You know, these teams need quarterbacks. We're probably going to see them go earlier than here's how the quarterback situation is going to play out. Either they're all going to go a lot earlier than we thought, or none of them are going to go at all. They're just all going to go 100%. Mad late. There's not going to be any happy medium, because once one team trades up to get a quarterback, then they're like, the other ones are like, fuck it, we got to go get one too. They're either all going to go early or they're all going to go like 2nd round, and then it's just going to screw everything up that direction. Like, now what do you do? They're all 2nd round picks. What do you do? So I think this was a good exercise to kind of talk about what would happen if this were to play out, and we are going to follow this up using these landing spots in draft capital with a rookie mock. And when is that coming to us? When are we doing the rookie mock based on these landing spots? Thursday. So we will work with that with the Destination Devy patrons, patreon.com/allgas. We will do that based on these landing spots, and we will discuss the rookie draft landing spots, the mock, on this Thursday. But thank you. Shout out to Chad Reuter and NFL for using this. We'll put the link to this mock in the description below. Give all the credit to those good content creators out there. Anything else you want to finish up with, Jay, before we get out of here? I kind of like Real quick, Pierre Strong to Tampa Bay behind Leonard. We know Leonard Fournette signed back. He's going to be the back for the next 2 to 3 years. But would you have any interest in Pierre Strong early if he gets that, early round 4 draft capital?
A little, I guess. I mean, again, 3rd round, 4th round. Like, I think in some of my leagues where people have never heard of him, because like even you can't. When Raygque can't find tape on you,
man,
you're a sleeper, right? Like no matter where you get drafted, even in Tampa Bay, I don't think people would be on him that much because you can't really see him. You don't really know what his ability is. You just know that he's fast, looked pretty good. But a lot of guys look fast and look pretty good, so we'll see. But I don't hate it. Again, Lombardi Lenny's going to be there, and I'm excited because I got a bunch of him in Dynasty, so I'm happy. But for me, it's Zamir White. Zamir White in New Orleans is like a dream fit for me, and I'm sure for a lot of people. I think it's a great fit for the offense and for Zamir White. That would be my top pick for sure.
Patriots trade down and take someone I've never heard of. Seems like a real mock to me. Khalil Shakir is nice, man. I don't know if he's wide receiver 1.
He's not the answer, but he's fine.
He's nice.
At least they didn't take him in the 1st round and he busted. That's all I'm happy about.
Cody says,
wide receiver, take as many as you want.
Cody says if Spiller falls out of Cody, I could plug it in right now. If he falls screw out of round 4, Cody. If he goes in round 4, I mean, once I plug it in, it's going to spit out a number that it's going to push him down lower. RB7.
Quite a bit, yeah.
RB8 probably.
I don't think it'll be that bad. I think he'd probably fall around RB5, RB6. But the problem is like, are we even confident with that given the draft capital? That's the issue, right? The rank will be what it is, but then you work within the tier as well.
I think the historical hit rate. This is a good way to go out. This is a good way to go out. So I'm just gonna give y'all the film grade thing right now, and just let y'all know the historical hit rate on those players who go, and we kind of talked about it last week. When you're drafted in round 4 at the running back position, that's just not what you want. So here we go. I got the grade up. I can't share the screen, dog, because I can't. This is the meat and potatoes. All right. So you're talking about top 6 running back. If you want a top 6 running back in fantasy, the hit rate for top 6 seasons for running backs that are drafted round 4, 4.9%. Those. Round 4, 4.9%. Round 5, 5.4%. Round 6, 0%. Round 7, 1.9% for top 6 running backs. Top 12 season finishes for running backs drafted in round 4, 11.5%, 10.8% in round 5, 3.7% in round 6, and 7.4% in round 7. When you look at round 3 and up, all of that is higher than 24%. 24% in round 3, 28%, top 12 seasons in round 2, and then 59% if you're drafted in round 1. And then top 24 season finishes for your running back position. Round 3, 48%. Round 2, 59%. Round 1, 82%. Round 4, you got 21%. Round 5, 24%. Round 6, 11%. And round 7, 9%. So if you're drafted in round 4, round 5, got a good shot you got a better than 20% chance to be a top 24 running back, but you've got a less than 12% chance to ever finish as a top 12 running back. So to answer your question, Cody, if he falls in round 4, he's going to fall, man. He's going to fall quite a bit. If he goes in round 5 or later, coin flip, right? Just take him late and see what happens, man. It's probably not going to be good for any of those running backs drafted round 4 and below. You're just praying you get an Elijah Mitchell type situation. So, yeah, man, that's just what it boils down to. That's the draft capital is huge, and that's the hit rate data on those positions. But I appreciate you guys. Oh, and there was a super chat. Somebody said we missed the super chat question. We cannot do that. I cannot get out of here without hitting the super chat question. Jay, did you see it? Did you pay attention to it as I was, captaining?
Yeah, the ship here? It was about Marvel, and it was, I think, Civil War versus Iron Man. I think it was Iron Man versus Captain America. Something.
Here we go.
Because I don't know the situation.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I got you covered here. Yeah, super chat question, and we're definitely getting this before we get out of here. In Civil War, Team Iron Man or Team Cap? Oh, this is a good one. I love Captain America, but I think I was more Team Iron Man in that situation. I do believe in Civil War, the face-off between Iron Man and Cap, I believe I was more Team Iron Man than I was Team Cap. But my wife asked me last night, she's like, who's your favorite Marvel character Avenger? It's gotta be between Captain America and T'Challa the Black Panther, man. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. But I think in Civil War, I was more Team Iron Man than I was Team Captain America. But I appreciate y'all. Jay, we appreciate them tapping in on this fine Monday. We got a full slate of shit lined up this week. What are we doing tomorrow?
Tomorrow is top 10 dynasty running backs. So we might see a spicy Breece Hall ranking tomorrow. I don't know. Yeah, we gotta work through the tiers. We gotta figure it out. But top 10 dynasty running backs tomorrow. Wednesday we're doing dynasty buy lows, and then Thursday is our mock draft show. Probably be 3 to 4 rounds. Probably I'd say pretty deep, and we'll dive into it based again off the information that we have from this mock draft that we did today.
Jasmine, hit me up. You and Joe, hit me up on Twitter. We're going to get y'all into the Marvel universe. Let's go. Y'all talking about y'all ain't never seen them, calling us Marvel nerds. Joe and Jazz, the two divas of Destination Devi who come in here and just raise hell in the chats. Holla at your boy GQ. We got to get you locked and loaded on the Marvel wave. Cody Carpenter, appreciate you, big dog. I think Cody released a mock as well. We may have to tap into old Cody's mock, see what old Carpentier is doing over there at Player Profiler and Roto Underworld. Appreciate all of y'all being in today. We'll be back tomorrow. Top 10 Dynasty running backs. We out of this thing. We love you. Have a great week. Peace out.